Earlier, we have started with the types of semiconductors. In this regard, we have seen that semiconductors can be classified mainly into two classes. The first is intrinsic semiconductors, and second is known as the extrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductors are also referred as the pure semiconductors, and the extrinsic type of semiconductors are referred as impure or defect semiconductors. In intrinsic type of semiconductors, the current conduction is carried out only in pure condition of either silicon or germanium, and hence no impurity that has been added from outside, and hence the current conduction is carried out merely in presence of pure silicon or germanium, and hence all such materials which conduct electricity without adding any impurity, that is known as a dopant or any impurity, and hence all such semiconducting materials are known as the intrinsic semiconductors, because the semiconducting property arises from the crystal itself. We have seen yesterday that the example of silicon and germanium. Silicon and germanium, basically these materials or these crystals are non-conductors or insulators, because in these cases the four electrons which are surrounded by every silicon, because silicon is a tetravalent crystal, and hence it contributes four valence electrons. It can form the four bonds with the surrounding silicon atoms, and all its valencies are satisfied. No free electrons are there, or no mobile electrons are there. So at absolute zero temperature, these materials are insulators or non-conductors. But as the temperature increases, the covalent bonding between the successive silicon atoms which are surrounded by the silicon, these are one of the bond that breaks down, or one of the bond that disrupts, and the electrons are now free to move. So under the influence of high temperature, or when the temperature is increased, these materials act as the semiconductors. And as we know that in semiconducting materials, the band gap or forbidden band between the filled valence band and the empty or vacant conduction band, this energy gap is very very small, and at increased temperatures, the electrons can easily jump or easily move from valence band to conduction band, and during this movement they can carry current. So the current conduction that is carried out within the crystal because of increased temperature. So at absolute zero temperature, they behave as a non-conducting materials or insulators, and because of increased temperatures, one of the bond that breaks down, and the electrons are now free to move inside the crystal lattice, and at increased temperature, these electrons can move from valence band to conduction band as per the band theory of metals. Now we are going to move to the second aspect of these types of semiconductor, that is known as the extrinsic type of semiconductors or defect semiconductors. In extrinsic type of semiconductors, as we know that pure silicon or germanium crystals are basically non-conductors, because whatever electrons are present, those electrons are engaged in forming normal bonds with the surrounding same silicon atoms or germanium atoms. But if in these crystals, if an impurity that is added from outside, the impurity may be trivalent, or trivalent means the impurity that can contribute 3 electrons, or the impurity may be pentavalent, that is the impurity can contribute 5 electron valence shell electrons during the formation of the bonds. So when pure silicon or germanium, if it is duped, the impurity that is known as a duped impurity, if pure silicon or germanium metal if it is doped with either trivalent such as boron, aluminum, gallium, or a pentavalent impurity such as phosphorus, arsenic, or antimony. When are added, then these impurities can act as charge carriers, and the semiconducting property which is arised due to addition of such impurities into the pure silicon or germanium crystal, that is known as a doping. So if boron is added, it is a doped element or impurity element, or if aluminum is there, that is also doped element. So because of addition of either a trivalent or a pentavalent impurity to the pure silicon or germanium crystal, the purity of these pure crystals that is lowered because of addition of such impurities, and these impurities can carry current, and hence such semiconducting materials are known as a defect semiconducting materials or impurity semiconducting materials, because in these crystals the current conduction is carried out because of the added impurity from outside, and hence such materials are also known as extrinsic semiconductors. The word extrinsic means the semiconducting property arises due to addition of certain elements from outside, and these elements which act as a impurity, they can carry current, or they may carry current, or they are acting as a charge carriers, and hence extrinsic semiconductors are also known as extrinsic defect semiconductors or extrinsic impure semiconductors. So extrinsic semiconductors fall into two categories. One category that is known as a N-type extrinsic semiconductor, and second that is known as a P-type semiconductors. Now, what is this N-type and P-type semiconductors? Just see how these crystals they can carry the current during the doping process. Now, as we know, the extrinsic extrinsic semiconductors, which are of two types. These are of two types. One is known as the N-type extrinsic semiconductor, and second type is known as the P-type semiconductors. As we have seen that either of these elements, that is silicon or germanium, when to these crystals, either silicon or germanium, if a trivalent impurity, that means which can contribute 3 electrons, that is known as a trivalent impurity, having the outermost electronic configuration as ns2np1, or a pentavalent impurity. Pentavalent means which contributes 5 electrons, which is having the electronic configuration as ns2np3. That means total number of electrons are 5, and here total number of electrons are 3. So to the pure silicon or germanium crystal, if a trivalent impurity or a pentavalent impurity, if it is added, then these pure materials, they can act as the semiconductors. They can act as a semiconductors, which is also known as a extrinsic type of semiconductors. So depending upon the type of impurity or nature of impurity that is added to silicon or germanium crystal, there can be a N-type or P-type semiconductors. So because of addition of either trivalent impurity such as boron, aluminum, or gallium, these are known as a trivalent impurity. They can contribute 3 electrons which are present in their valence shells, and or the pentavalent impurities such as phosphorus, arsenic, or antimony, they can contribute 5 electrons. So depending upon the nature of impurity or the type of impurity that is added to pure silicon or germanium crystal, there can be N-type or P-type semiconductors. So these impurities, either the impurity from these, this group or the impurity from this group, they can act as a charge carriers. Because of addition of such impurity, defects are created and hence are known as a defect extrinsic semiconductors. Or because of addition of such materials, the purity of pure silicon or germanium is lowered and hence are known as impure extrinsic semiconductors. And these impurities, either boron, aluminum or gallium or phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, these impurities, they can contribute either 3 electrons or 5 electrons. So these impurities are known as the dopant. These are known as a dopant. So either silicon is doped with either of these elements, or silicon germanium or doped with either of these phosphorus, arsenic or antimony. So depending upon whether a trivalent impurity is added or a pentavalent impurity is added, there can be a N-type or P-type semiconduction. For example, if we try to study the first type, N-type semiconductors. What is this N-type semiconductors? We know if we try to show the diagrammatic representation of pure silicon material, then we can show this as like this. This is a part of crystal structure of pure silicon. This is a part of crystal structure of pure silicon like this. Every silicon is surrounded by maximum number of silicon atoms. Now this is silicon material which is in pure state. Now in pure state, silicon material is a non-conductor of electricity. And as now we have seen, if to these pure crystal, if a trivalent or a pentavalent impurity, if it is added, for example, if we add to pure crystal a pentavalent impurity, pentavalent means having 5 electrons in the valence shell, for example, phosphorus, arsenic or antimony. Take for instance phosphorus as the pentavalent impurity having atomic number 15. The electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p3. That means phosphorus can contribute its 5 valence shell electrons. Now, when phosphorus has been added to silicon material, what will happen? Here, this is again the part of structure of silicon material. I am showing here, due to addition of an impurity to the pure silicon material, what is the changes or what are the changes those take place in the silicon crystal or in pure silicon crystal that I have shown here. Now if we look at this particular diagram, here in the first diagram, this is a pure silicon material and hence it behaves as a non-conductor of electricity. But when a pentavalent impurity such as phosphorus, if it is added, which can contribute its 5 electrons. So the 5 electrons, the box diagram representation for this can also be shown as like this. This is a 3s and this is a 3p orbital. 3s is having 2 electrons, 3p orbital is having 3 electrons. So these are the 5 electrons. Now amongst these 5 electrons, for example, first electron, this is a 3px electron which is shown here. This is a 3px electron. Then this is a second electron, it is a 3py electron which can be shown here. Then the third electron 3pz which can be shown here. So these are the electrons 3px, 3py and 3pz. Now amongst 2 electrons which are present in 3s orbital, one of the electron is contributed by phosphorus. So Amongst this, only one electron is contributed by 3s orbital. So phosphorus has contributed in all 4 electrons, but still phosphorus has one extra electron that can be shown here. So this electron, which is not engaged in forming normal covalent bonds, hence it is known as a extra electron, which is also known as a free electron, which pertains to phosphorus atom. Now, every silicon, as we have seen yesterday, that contributes in all 4 electrons. So this silicon contributes its 1 electron, this silicon contributes its single electron, this silicon also contributes its single electron, and this silicon contributes its single electron. So if we look at this much part of this crystal, then it is seen that the 4 silicon atoms which are surrounded by this phosphorus, they can contribute their single electrons, because as we have seen that silicon can contribute 4 electrons. So this bond is formed by the mutual contribution of 1 electron from phosphorus, 1 electron from silicon, and the same is true for this bond, and this bond. So total number of electrons engaged here are 8 plus 1 electron that is unused from 3s that I have shown here. So some of the lattice points means some of the silicon atoms, those are replaced by phosphorus atom. So this is, I have shown only the part of the structure of silicon. So some, if we elaborate this particular diagram in all possible directions, then we can see that everywhere the either of the silicon atoms, those are replaced by phosphorus atom. By replacement of either of the silicon atom, every phosphorus has free or extra electrons which are mobile inside the crystal lattice. I have shown only the part of crystal structure. So in these crystals, these electrons are movable. So if we apply an electrical potential or electric current, so this is a negative terminal, this is a positive terminal. On application of an electrical potential across such defective material, the electrons which are free or mobile electron, they move to the opposite pole, because electrons are negatively charged particles and they move towards a positive pole. So in doing so, these electrons can conduct electricity, as electrons are negatively charged particles, as negative electrons are negatively charged particles, and hence the current conduction is carried out by negatively charged electrons. Hence all such materials are known as n-type extrinsic semiconductors. The word n indicates that the electrical conductivity that is possible only because of the negatively charged electrons. So because the current conduction is done with the help of negatively charged particles, hence such materials are known as the n-type semiconductors. In this case, the number of as the number of electrons increased in the crystal by doping the impurity, then current conduction will be more. So this is according to the concept of the doping of pure silicon material with the pentavalent impurity. We have to give certain explanation for n-type semiconductors with regard to the band theory of metals. Now, with regard to band theory of metals, how can we explain this n-type semiconduction? With regard to the band theory of metals, we can see that here phosphorus atom is present at the center, which contributes 5 electrons, and these are the surrounding silicon atoms. So phosphorus is added as an impurity, and these are the formation of bonds between phosphorus and silicon. As just now I have seen that every phosphorus will contribute its 5 electrons. This is a remaining picture of this silicon material which is doped with phosphorus. So every phosphorus, one electron from phosphorus, second electron, the third electron, and the fourth electron. One electron that remains unused, this is known as a free electron or extra electron. Every silicon can contribute single electron like this. This silicon also contributes single electron, this silicon and this silicon. Now the formation of the bonding between silicon and phosphorus that I have shown here. This is known as a free electron or mobile electron. So these free electrons or mobile electrons, they can form a electron donor band near the conduction band. What is this? See here, as we know, according to band theory of metals, there are two bands existing in every semiconducting material. The lowermost band, which is regarded as the valence band, which we call as the field band or abbreviated as a VB, and this is a vacant, this is known as a vacant or empty, which is known as a conduction band, which is a vacant. And the peculiarity of all semiconducting materials is that there is a very small energy band. So because of presence of all such electrons inside the crystal structure of silicon, every phosphorus is having one free or unused electron. This electron is not engaged in forming the normal bonds. So all such electrons, they can form a new energy band. This is known as a new energy band where all such electrons are present. So here this new energy band is known as the electron donor band, which is abbreviated as a EBD. This is known as a electron donor band, which is very close to conduction band. So electrons are present here. This band is near the conduction band. Now on application of an electrical potential, whatever electrons are present in this new energy band, the energy gap, as we know, it is very small energy gap existing between the conduction band and the electron donor band, that is shown by delta E. Because a small energy gap is present, and hence on application of electrical potential, these electrons can easily move from the electron donor band to the vacant conduction band. In doing so, they can carry current with them. So this is how the explanation for the n-type semiconductors for according to the band theory of metals. Now, if we want to show the energy profile for this n-type semiconductors, then on x-axis, if we show the density of states, and this is the electron donor band, which is present in between the valence band and the conduction band, and this electron donor band that is very close to the conduction band. So this energy gap, this is the energy. So this gap is very small, and the gap between the valence band and the electron donor band, this gap is very small. So whatever electrons or whatever free electrons which are present inside the crystal structure, these electrons, they can form a new band of energy that is known as a energy donor band. This is known as EDB. And because of formation of this EDB, on application of an electrical potential, these electrons can move very easily from electron donor band to the empty conduction band, and here the current conduction that is carried out only by negatively charged electrons, and hence such materials are known as the n-type extrinsic semiconductors. And why it is known as a defect semiconductors? Because due to addition of a pentavalent impurity in the pure silicon or germanium crystal, the purity of such crystal is lowered, and because of which the impurity is created, and hence such materials are known as impure semiconducting materials. So if we want to conclude, because I am running out of time, only 5 minutes are left, we are going to again continue the same by using the same link with regard to the p-type semiconductors. So if we want to conclude the n-type semiconductors, then we can see that in all such materials, just now I have explained that in n-type semiconductors, the semiconducting characteristics of a pure silicon or germanium can be improved or increased by addition of either trivalent or pentavalent impurities. These impurities, they act as charge carriers. So the materials, either silicon or germanium, they are basically intrinsic type of semiconductors. Why it is intrinsic type of semiconductors? Because the semiconducting property that is arise only when the temperature is increased. So the intrinsic semiconductors containing pentavalent impurities, you should remember very carefully while writing the explanation for n-type semiconductors, that the intrinsic semiconductors containing a pentavalent impurities such as phosphorus, arsenic or antimony, then these impurities can contribute 5 valential electrons, and because in this case one electron that is left free or unused electron is there, and hence such materials are known as n-type semiconductors. Due to addition of a pentavalent impurity to pure silicon or germanium, some of the silicon atoms, those are replaced by the added impurity. Each doped atom forms 4 covalent bonds with the surrounding silicon atoms by using its 4 valence electrons, while the fifth electron remains unused. So this electron which is unused, that can carry current. Also one should remember that plenty of electrons are left unused inside the crystal structure of silicon, because whatever quantity of a pentavalent atom that is added, every pentavalent atom that is having one free or extra electrons, those are moving inside the crystal lattice, and because of which these unused or free electrons, they can form a donor band which is very close to conduction band, that is known as a electron donor band, or which is known as a EDB. On application of an electrical potential, the electrons from this electron donor band can easily jump to the empty conduction band, and hence they can carry current quite readily. Since the current is carried by negatively charged electrons, it is called n-type semiconduction, and the silicon or germanium crystal doped with either phosphorus, arsenic or antimony is called n-type extrinsic semiconductors. So whenever a question of the type that is asked strictly depending upon the n-type semiconductors, then you have to remember that pure silicon or germanium, those are doped with a pentavalent impurity and one electron that is left, and this electron that carries the current, which can form a new band of energy levels near the empty or vacant conduction band. So because of several jumps of these electrons from the electron donor band to conduction band, current conduction is carried out, and hence all such materials where the current conduction is carried out with the help of negatively charged particles, hence it is known as n-type semiconductors. So within 2 to 3 minutes I am going to continue with the p-type semiconductors. We are having the video, I am going to show you the video of these n and p-type semiconductors.